Hi guys, it's Dr. Tiffany. I hope you're doing great this week. So today's subject is going to be on the power of visualization. Yes, I'm literally saying the power of our imaginations and visualizing ourselves doing incredible things, the things that we wish to see ourselves do. For example, I may be having a briefing coming up very soon and I want to do a great job with the briefing. So if I sit there in my mind's eye, visualizing myself doing the briefing while being completely in control, the words pouring fluidly from my mouth, and showing good energy and poise to the audience, yes, that actually does work. We ask ourselves, why does it work? Why is just imagining ourselves doing great things working? Well, what's happening is our brain is registering that imagination as like a memory, as a neural network and a map for the brain. So it's easier for the brain to recall. So it's essentially creating a pathway in your brain without you actually having to do it. You're just visualizing it. We all know that a lot of athletes use visualization to help their performance. Gymnasts are famous for doing that, imagining themselves nailing the routine each and every single time. So I have some cool stories that I want to share about visualization to help inspire you to see yourself in that new way and to keep repeating that visualization, that positive visualization of you in your own mind's eye so that we can set those neural networks for you and that it can be a success the way that you imagine it to be. Okay? So let's first talk about a famous Russian spy, I believe, who was actually put in prison for an extended period of time. His goal was to come out of prison and be the world's best chess player. So what did he do? Well, of course, I'm sure he has a high level of intelligence. He decided to play chess against himself, visualizing it over and over and over again, the different moves that he'd be making, all the different strategies. And guess what? When he got out of prison, he did exactly that. He became the world's best chess player. Here's one of my favorites, and I always joke to my girlfriends about this. Well, let me not jump to the punchline first. Okay, so there was a study on working out. Okay, so there's one group who was actually going to do a certain routine workout. Let's say they're doing biceps and squats. Yay! Okay, the other group was just going to do that same workout routine, the same amount of time, maybe 20 minutes. They're just going to visualize themselves doing the biceps and the squats. Okay, so at the end of the study, after about 30 to 90 days, I can't remember what it was, maybe it's 90 days, about 3 months, they did a reassessment about how the muscles grew and didn't grow based on the power of visualization or, of course, working out, right? So apparently the people who worked out gained 30% muscle mass, obviously in the bicep area and in the gluteus maximus area because they were doing the squats and the bicep curls, right? So the other group who was doing visualization had 14% body increase in biceps and glutes. How amazing is that? So when you put it together, essentially, if you're doing both the visualization and the actual workout, I think you're getting the most bang for your buck. So think about it that way. The other one, which is super amazing, is there is this incredible man who is quadriplegic, so he can't move his arms or his legs, right? So he had a surgical chip implanted into his brain. So it's like a silicon chip. And the silicon chip made it possible for him to communicate with his computer. Obviously, he doesn't have the ability to move his arms, but it made it so that the computer would do everything that his brain said, right? And he also had a robotic arm that he could use by visualization with that chip implanted in his brain. So after 4 days of practicing, he was a pro at operating his computer just through his mind and the power of visualization. And a week later, he was able to use that robotic arm. Wow, our brain is super amazing. So, not only can we use visualization in a very literal sense, but why not try visualization in a spiritual sense too, right? So, if you had some issues in your life, some traumatic events or setbacks in your life that really bother you, why don't you imagine yourself maybe as an aura, right? A whole aura. And perhaps because of the situations you may have had, you have splinters in them, right? Imagine removing those splinters, right? And your light becoming brighter as a process of healing. Or you can imagine planting a seed in your mind for whatever it is that you want to grow, whether it's growing your marriage healthy, whether it's growing your work environment healthy, whether it's, I don't know, you name it. What if it's public speaking and healing me and healing my physical body? It could be anything. So you can visualize the spiritual sense, but you can also visualize the very literal sense. So I hope this video encourages you to do so. I practice visualization all the time. I think it's something that's super important. So I encourage you to do it. If you have questions or comments or any other cool stories you'd like to add, please put them below. And of course, always subscribe. I pray you push the love forward. Have a beautiful week.